Hi YouTube, this is Tom again. It is the 13th of June, 2010. It's a Sunday. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the oil spill again. A couple of things that we need to go through are, before I said martial law could not be instated because of the whole oil spill, I'm beginning to second guess that, and the reason why is the researchers and scientists and people that are on this case have discovered that there's more than just oil coming out of the well, and I think we all knew that, but it's what's coming out of it. I thought it was just mud, but I was very ignorant and found out that it was much different. So what they found were called volatile organic compounds, and I'm going to tell you each compound. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. Each compound, what regular EPA standards allow for, in the regular air, for these, vapors, this, once it's released and brought to the surface, how much is allowed and then how much is actually coming out of it. And it's kind of surprising. Alright, hydrogen sulfide is the first volatile organic compound. So EPA standards allow 5 to 10 ppbs, which are parts per billion. They allow 5 to 10, and what's coming out of this wellhead now is 1,200 parts per billion, which is way over. And I didn't go much into looking up what it can do to you, but I do know that it does have respiratory repercussions on the respiratory system. The next one, and I talked about it in my last video, or previous videos, was benzene. And benzene, once washed up on shore or just out in the Gulf, can cause leukemia. EPA standards allow 0 to 4 parts per billion, so it's very concentrated amount, because 0 to 4 parts per billion, that's not much at all. But what's actually coming out of this is 3,000 parts per billion, which is almost 3,000 to a little under 1,000 times what's necessary, or what not what's necessary, but I guess what's allowed. So the other one is methylene chloride. EPA standards allow it to have 61 parts per billion. Tested, we found that there was 3,000 to 3,400 parts per billion. And methylene chloride, I'm just going to give you a little rundown on methylene chloride. Methylene chloride, it has a sweet aroma and it's colorless. So like if you smell like a sweet vapor or whatever in the air and you're down at the oil spill, odds are it's probably not perfume. It's probably something like methylene chloride. Once metabolized in the body, it creates carbon monoxide, and many people that are going to be cleaning up that run into this, if they run into this, they're going to be brought into the hospital and diagnosed with carbon monoxide poisoning, but that's just what it's broken down into. It's metabolized as methylene chloride. So you're going to have a lot of misdiagnosis in this, and it causes optic neuropathy and hepatitis. Can cause it's an irritant to the skin, and once it irritates the skin, it can create a rash. And from a rash, it'll create chemical burns. Chemical burns can get pretty bad. I've seen a lot of really bad pictures of chemical burns, people in the hospital, and okay, it can be considered as a carcinogenic, and it's linked to cancer of the lungs, liver, and I think the pancreas. So yeah, guys, we have a really bad situation. I mean, they're bad volatile organic compounds here. But what else is surprising is that, okay, put this into perspective, the amount of pressure that this wellhead is actually being like blown out at, it's anywhere between 20,000 to 70,000 psi, okay, well, pounds per square inch. You put it into perspective, your average tire, okay, you know, a car's a couple thousand pounds, right? Well, you have the tires which allow that weight, you know, to be suspended in air, you know, which are essentially tires. Those are between 35 and 40 pounds per square inch. And that's a lot of pressure still. But if you look at this, that is so much more than our tires. And the fact of that pressure being pushed out of this wellhead. And another thing I want to go through, if you really think about it, there's no conspiracy behind this. I don't think this was done on purpose. I think that they could have found out days ahead what was happening and thought, oh shit, we're in deep shit. We know it's about to happen because we see it happening and starting to happen. Because the thing is that this was not a platform that went all the way down to the bottom of the, you know, the ocean. It was actually a floating platform, okay? So here you have 5,000 feet of drilling all the way just down to the ocean floor itself, okay? And then you have another 20 to 30,000 more feet that they went below that. And that's the real estimate, 20 to 30,000 feet. So here you have 35,000 feet total that you're going underneath below sea level, which is pretty far down. And it's considered, and can be considered as a deep sea, a deep sea drill, or a deep sea well, or just a deep well in general. So here you've got access to this volcano of oil and mud and these organic compounds that are toxic to anybody and everything that it touches. And you have this pressure that's just, it's ungodly, the amount of pressure that's being pushed out of this. So I think that they are throwing a lot of the stuff that they have at it. I don't think it's as easy as it looks. I really think that this is a really hard thing to cap, and I think that's why they had talks about throwing a nuke at it, you know? They don't go throwing the words nuke and, you know, capping the well for nothing. You know, they mean it, so. Anyways. Well, that's weird. There's like a vibration in the ceiling. Just stopped. Oh well, it must have been my neighbors upstairs. Anyways, yeah, I mean, just do the research, look it up. It's pretty crazy. I don't know what to tell you guys. They're gonna either have to do mass evacuations for people down in the Gulf states. You know, you get the wind blowing off this stuff. Crazy stuff. And the toxins that, you know, the government and BP put in the ocean to try to clean it up too. I mean, that's going to turn from a liquid to a gas and start killing stuff once you know it evaporates and into the clouds and starts raining down this stuff. It's crazy. It's going to be really bad. So I'll talk to you guys later. My time's up. Have a good night, guys.